Fuck, man. So, the belief that I am unwanted, that I am not good enough, that I am unlovable, taken upon as a child for whatever reason, shape or form, such as the ability to be able to tune into another person's energy as a reflection, to be able to feel my mother's pain and not to be able to take it away, but feeling as though I was the man and responsible to do so, is a journey that I just got to guide a beautiful soul upon, to go back to discover the root cause of his feeling, his belief that they would be better off without me, to discover the information required to allow him to know that actually the world is a far better place with him in it, and that he is loved, that he doesn't need to take her pain away because he's unable to do so to begin with anyway, that we can't heal another person. I can't heal you. I can give you the tools and the information, the permission to go upon a journey of inner discovery and remembrance and re-education to then actually heal yourself. That the healing of this world doesn't come about through helping or healing another. It comes about through the helping and the healing of the self. And this journey has just bombarded his subconscious mind to the degree that he is now having to have a sleep this afternoon, but that he knows that he is wanted, he is good enough, and that he doesn't have to, but he gets to. He doesn't have to heal the feminine. We don't have to heal the feminine, bro, because she's not broken. Just as you're not broken, and you don't need to heal yourself, because you are already good enough. And it is that belief of old, a thought compounded over time, that leads to those actions that we take. You are wanted. Yes, beautiful, beautiful soul, to be you to the full. Thank you. And just to echo out and reflect upon the thoughts that we sometimes have, knowing that they are just thoughts. And actually, sometimes these thoughts are reanimated to realize that there is no attachment or connection internally. I had some heavy news yesterday, and my brother came to deliver this news, and in his space and place of pain and trauma, he looked to me and looked to my stepdad, trying to gain a space and place of safety. And I hugged him and we cried, and he really opened up and embraced the connection. And as he left, the statement that he shared was to do with rain, and he said about rain, I said, no, it's not going to rain, mate. And he's like, yeah, that's what Charlie said as well, but I said to Charlie that Kane's here, so he'll make it rain. And that hurt at a level that I did not realize was there. And I had a thought that they would be better off without me. I had a thought, a dark thought, that I have not had for 10 years, and an imagery of actually taking action over this thought. But there was nothing for it to attach to. There was no conviction, there was no connection to that thought being true. I know they wouldn't be better off without me. I know that me being in this world is better than me leaving it and causing no end of pain and suffering for myself and those around me. So sometimes we have these thoughts, and it's a remembrance that they are not true. Only if there is, let's use this as an example. This is a vessel. It has pollutants that have attached to the edges. If I was to fill this up with water, the water would become polluted and then actually affect all sentient life forms that would then be in that body of water, or thought processes or beliefs, etc. We clean the vessel, which is actually the way we started today's session. We had a full cleansing and energy releasing session. And then we did the timeline therapy to go back to discover the root cause of his belief that they would be better off without me, and to actually set him free from it. And it's very interesting to me, in synchronized way of being, that I live within this holographically created and projected reality, that I had the same thought last night that he is then brought today to clear, so that I could sit in that energy and I could know that actually I had that belief of old myself. I had the same belief. It was my responsibility to heal my mother, and it was an impossible task, so I failed. I was unworthy. I was undeserving of her love. The love was never unconditional. It depended on what I could do or bring to the table. And there is still that inkling of a program within, especially the masculine of society, that we are only as good as what we can bring to the table, as what we can provide. And now that the feminine is holding herself in all ways and spaces and providing and protecting herself, we're kind of wondering and left scratching our heads as to where our placement is in the world. What is a man's role anymore? If the feminine protects and provides for herself, that is taken away our role. But I would actually suggest and remind you that we all have internally the masculine and feminine energies accordingly. And just as I no longer require the feminine to elevate a feeling of play and joy and laughter and high vibrational expressions, y'all, because the feminine in me is able to express this freely, because I am masculine and feminine accordingly. So too is the physical representation of the feminine able to provide and protect herself, because she holds within her the masculine as well. So then where is our place in society as the man that was previously unable to heal the feminine from being young, at childhood, and unable to take our mother's pains away? Our role is to provide a safe and sacred space, to ensure that our nervous system is regulated, so that if there is some sort of trauma that is brought to the table, that is shared with us, we are able to receive that, to not take it personally and think that it is our fault or that we need to then fix and heal, but instead to just hear, to listen, to hold space, to resonate, to say, I see you, I understand you, I understand you, I accept you, I respect you, and I acknowledge everything that you have been through, every trial and tribulation, every twist and turn and up and down of the roller coaster ride that we call life, having brought us to where we are today. And that you've done it before, so I know you'll do it again. I believe in you, you divine being, you goddess embodied, you empress. I believe in you, and I stand beside you in support always. No matter where our journeys take us, my thoughts, my heart is with you. We are eternally connected, you and I, infinitely, eternally, across all space and time. And this is able to be realized by letting go of attachments and a desire for you to be any other way than you are. That if you're in pain, it doesn't mean that I am unworthy or not good enough. Your pain is not my responsibility, unless I take it upon myself, of course. But the knowledge that I cannot take away your pain, well, why would I then take responsibility for your pain? Because I'm only setting myself up to fail. Once again, this polluted body that then contains water or divine energy, it is releasing these pollutants of old, cleaning the vessel, removing the limiting beliefs that have tarnished and stained our subconscious mind and our belief of who we are and our place in society. Believe you can or believe you can't, and either way you are right. So, what belief of old that you previously had is no longer true? And what belief are you carrying presently that you could now also let go of and move forwards from? Let's go. The belief that I once had was that I couldn't walk. That's no longer true to me. A belief I once had was that I was stuck and I had literally condemned myself to a life of pain and suffering, to work a job I hated and despised, working 60 hours a week at night to provide for my family. And I believed that was my reality. That was who I was. I was Cain, without the E. Cain Stromberg, father, husband, provider. This was who I was. That was a belief. That is no longer a belief. I no longer believe that the pain and suffering of my children are my responsibility. I no longer believe that pain and suffering is actually required at all for me. I no longer believe that I have to do it the hard way, because it's only through hardship that rewards are then received. The more that we let go of our viewpoint of old, our requirements, our expectations for ourselves or for reality externally to be any other way than it is, the more we are able to realize that it is perfect just as it is. So again, this painful, heavy information that I received yesterday allowed for my brother and I to have a connection that was well overdue, that's required. And then I sat connected energetically with him, wondering why then all I wanted to do was to cry and to act upon that belief that they would be better off without me. But once again, having that thought without the connection or attachment to it, it's like a body of water, a river, having rubbish or pollutants thrown in it. The thought comes in. If it's got something to attach to, it will become connected, and it will collect up with all relevant thoughts of the same frequency and vibration. Like a piece of rubbish thrown into the river, and there's a root sticking in the river, and the rubbish collects up on that root. All plastics over there, or metals over there, or perhaps all red, angry thoughts, or green, envious thoughts, whatever it might be. They collect up internally to the point where we believe it to be true because it's all we can see. And then we take upon and act accordingly, taking on the mannerisms and the characteristics and the energetics. So a thought is just a thought. But it's when we buy into that thought and we have it over and over again and we compound it, that the thoughts become habits. And it's the habits that we adopt and embody that creates the characteristics of the avatar self that we experience life through. So a character of lack and limitation, a character of victimization can never walk a path of abundance, because it's just vibrationally, mathematically unequatable. Character of lack and limitation won't be able to enter the game that is abundance and prosperity. They just won't be able to get in. And that's where then we discover the truth once again, that we supersede all of these programs of old, that they are just programs. Just like in Wreck-It Ralph, the glitch that she previously felt was a hindrance, something negative, is what is actually her superpower. When she acknowledges and embodies and owns the fucking shit out of who she is. And turning that shit of life, the pains of the past, into the fertilizer, digging it into the garden of our mind and growing our seeds of intention within it, more big and more beautiful, more succulent than we could have done without that shit. This is your superpower. And your reason for existence, once again, your reason for being, why are you here? Well, to be you. The fuck else are you going to do? You can't be anybody else. And it's only you that can be you. You're the best at being you. In the entire universe, you are the best at being you. And that's what we want you to do. I don't want you to be anybody else. If you're here to, let's say, vibrationally, and referring it to colour, if you're here to be blue, please be blue. Please be expressive. Please be vocal. If you're here to be yellow, please be yellow. Please be excited. Please be high vibrant. If you're here to be purple, please be deep and thoughtful. If you're here to be red, please be earthly and connected. Please be material in nature, like material things. There is nothing wrong with this. Because wherever we are in our journey, whatever colour that we are within the rainbow of existence, that is who we are, and the rainbow misses out and is no longer complete without you. You are wanted. You are good enough. And you are loved. And the you of today knows this to be true. But there may be a previous version of you that does not believe this to be true. That will be animated and resurfaced, the traumatized version of you that has been locked away in the darkness of the mind and hidden out of sight to protect and serve from trauma, which, yes, okay, subconscious mind, you are fulfilling your highest and truest directive there, and thank you. But alongside this, you have also fragmented the psyche and the energetics of me. You have convinced me that there is something wrong within me that needs to be shunned and hidden away. And if that trauma is resurfaced, if I believe that I am unworthy and there is something which provides the program to surface once again to be animated, then that unworthiness is then surfaced, and I react as though the traumatized child of yesterday that believed he was unworthy is being resurfaced and being reminded of his unworthiness once again. And then my brother. So, if there is a scar on the arm and we do not address and heal the wound, every time we are hit or reflected upon it, then we react as though that trauma is taking place again. When we heal the wound, somebody can come along and slap it, and no longer does it react, so no longer be reactive as though it is taking place again. Yes, my brother. But instead we can respond because we are responsible for our actions. We respond logically and consciously, mindfully, remembering that it's all happening for us, not to us, that we are the creators of our own reality accordingly, and that we are responsible only for ourselves and our emotional reactions or responses to situations, not somebody else's. Somebody gets upset at the fact that I'm skipping down the street, it's their upset, it's not mine. And the reason they're upset is because they're reminded of the limitation or restriction of their own enjoyment and freedom in life. Once again, believe you can or believe you can't, and either way you are right. You are wanted. You are good enough. You are loved. You are wanted. You are good enough. You are loved. And allow these words to permeate your subconscious mind and know them to be true. Embody them. I am wanted. I am good enough. I am love. I am wanted. I am good enough. I am loved, as I am love. I am wanted by me. I am good enough for me. I am loved by me. And that is an expression that the adult self of today can echo back to the inner child of yesterday that did not receive the acknowledgement that they were wanted, that they were good enough, and they were loved. This is inner child healing. This is what has set me free to be able to have thoughts of darkness and even to see the visualization. But to know that actually the thought that they would be better off without me is not true. And that I want to be here on this earthly realm, not to leave it as I previously tried to. And that allows for the recognition of the work that has been taking place. So a thought is just a thought. If you have a thought that you're unwanted, that you're not good enough, that you're unloved, question it. Ask yourself, is this true? Am I wanted? Yeah, I want me. Am I loved? Am I good enough? Yeah, I'm fucking good enough for me. I lead with an open heart. I live integrity. I honour. I love. Yes, there are a lot of people I don't like. Yes, sometimes I want to call somebody a cunt. But again, I know that internally that is a reflection of myself projected externally. And instead of wanting to wrong them or to change them or to attack them, I accept them for the role that they play. And some things cannot be understood. And why would we try to understand something by placing ourselves below it? Sometimes we just need to acknowledge and honour the statement that monkeys climb trees, fish swim in the sea, and Karen is a bitch. Some things just are. And I can't understand why Karen behaves the way she does, but I can understand the way that it makes me feel. And if it does cause some form of pain internally, a feeling of not being good enough, of not being wanted, of being victimized, then I can look internally and ask myself, where does that come from? Why do I hold that belief? To be life, to live free, to be you to the full, to be beautiful, to live authentically, happy, wild, and abundantly free. Today is a special day. It is your second chance to say yes today. And the start and the end of it all. You've got this. I believe in you. And I stand beside you now and always. Hello, external me, projected and reflected perfectly. I love you. I love you all. No, thank you for being part of my journey, for allowing me to be part of yours. I thank you for everything that you do in making this world a brighter and more loving and harmonious space and place. And most importantly, as always, I thank you for simply being you, because that's all any of us ever need to be you to the full, to be beautiful. Let's go. Let's go. Let go to grow. Let's go. I love you all. Any questions, as always, please reach out. If you've not yet joined the Discord family, please go ahead and do so. This week's group meditation is going to be shared tomorrow, and we're actually going to be finding out which starter meditation would be like to be received and to work through as a group this evening. Last week's was a heart-centered inner peace reconnection guided meditation. This work, this worth, this week, the work may be self-worth. Feels about right. You are wanted, you are good enough, and you are loved. Let's go.